Alright, so I have a little bit of a funny thing to showcase to all of you guys. It was just kind of a normal day, and I was very curious about any new victors of one of my towers, right? I search up my towers on YouTube to see if there's any new victors, see what they think, etc., right? Nothing too out of the ordinary. I search up Tower of Disengaging Lunacy on there. Now, if you guys are not fully aware of what this thing is, it is a half-joke tower that is pretty much a Tower of Vacant Hindrances ripoff. It's one of those, I know, very shameful, but at least I was fully aware that it was not good. And it was a half-joke tower. It was pretty satire. Nothing to be taken the most serious, despite being placed on the list and actually being beaten by other people. So, anyways, I found this guy named Mr. Name, and he's the 7th victor of ToDL. And as per usual, I check out the description of said video and look at this SAT AP literature essay that they just wrote down. This is the most amount of text I've ever seen, and I've been in spam channels of Discord servers. It just goes on and on, and on, and there's more info when you think it's over. This is the Star Wars credits of towers. So I read through everything. I read through it all. And he basically goes over more or less the whole grinding journey, the whole grinding process. And then he explains what jumps were bad, what strats he had to use, what fails he got, and everything else, etc. It's not that bad. At first glance, it's not bad. But I feel like there was a bit of a aggressive tone, which I guess I wouldn't blame him because it is a bad tower. And you when you have a bad grind, when you have a bad experience, it tends to happen. It tends to happen. I've been there. However, one of the things that he said, which got me all confused, was this part. It all started when I watched some random baby dog short about this tower and thought that tower looks really bad. And then, like a normal person, I decided to play something I thought looked terrible. The first 2 floors were free, so I decided to start practicing, where I nearly gave up because 3 was a massive spike. So basically, he was fully aware that this tower sucks. He had the first impression that the tower was not good because he watched Baby Dog short about it. And to clarify, I'm not judging him, okay? I don't blame him. It looks bad. It's a TOVH clone and it sucks. I am fully on board with his opinion of the tower. The thing that confuses me is why he played it in the first place. Maybe he has his own reasons. I can't really, I can't really pinpoint the exact reasoning. I wouldn't know. But it's very weird, to play something that you perceive as straight up not fun. It's weird. But that's not the worst thing about this, okay? He goes on, putting this parentheses here, saying, by the way, whoever made that voice commentary vid absolutely ruined the first day or 2 of grinding because of their horrendous strat on the ladder jump. Now, I'm pretty sure they're talking about the ladder jump on 3, and it's a hard jump in general, okay? But when there's a hard jump, people will formulate strategies, and because not everyone is the same, strats will not work for everyone, okay? But this this kind of like annoys me because he's basically blaming the other person who made that commentary video rather than blaming himself for not realizing that the strat wouldn't work for them in 15 minutes. He could have just thought about the strat and tell himself, wait, the strat is not really for me. I should probably do something different. I will try something else. But no, this is basically saying, oh, this guy made a commentary video and he did this thing for this jump, so I'm gonna try it. And then when it doesn't work, he's like, I'll try it for a couple more days, I'll see how it goes. And then eventually he goes on disliking the strategy and he blames the commentary video rather than himself for not realizing that he doesn't like the strat. Now, I could be missing something. I could be missing some piece of information, but this is how I'm perceiving it right now, and that's kind of messed up. That's not the only thing though. Another thing that I would like to go over is the it's the freaking 410 run, okay? When he finally gets to 10 onto the roof, and he's, you know, some friends joined him, and it's like there's some talking going on. It's just attitude at this point. Basically, I don't know their humor of this friend group. I don't know the full details of what their humor is or what they do or anything like that. So take all of the things I say with a grain of salt, or maybe even less than a grain. But I was paying attention to the chat, and it seemed like there was some weird, like, small, like, random snarky things going on. Like, I saw some chat messages that didn't strike me the right way. This guy just wanted to play Silent Panic, and this guy goes on saying like, "Oh, you can't even be there for my second hardest completion, and like you can like just do that later. You have to watch me and everything." And I'm like, dude, what? And then this Timmy person, who's the person playing Silent Panic, says that watching him loop fail is not the most fun. And I wholeheartedly agree. It is boring to watch a person loop fail over and over again. And then he still goes on, just straight up like refusing to accept the fact that loop failing is boring. He says he's gonna block him. You know, he doesn't realize you could just spectate the person when you're playing Silent Panic. Like, he thinks like when you're playing another tower, you're not watching them or with them whatsoever. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that struck me weirdly. That didn't sound correct at all, or more moral whatsoever. And that's not even the worst part. Or I wouldn't say worse. I want to say more funny. That's not even the most funniest part. The funniest part of this is this 4-6 fail that he had. Now, you see, disengaging lunacy is purist, okay? It's a purist tower, no COs, no shovers, no spinners, no beat blocks, no fading platforms, no falling platforms, none of that. He still goes on for one of the choke point jumps on 6 to use a metronome. What? It is a purist tower. You do not need to use a metronome to time your jump. Like, you don't need a rhythm to just do a random jump. You could just do the jump normally. Like, time it yourself in your head or something. Like, time your spacebar press, time your W and A press. That's just crazy. Crazy stuff. Again, no judging. Like, maybe just a little bit of teasing, but my teasing feels a little justified, just from like the fact that why do you even need a metronome for a jump like this? I I just don't understand. This is what you should be using a metronome for. See, the fast shover, you know, you have to time the jump properly. I mean, of course you could count in your head for this too, but I think the metronome can actually work out properly. You do not need a metronome for a purist jump that you could just wing. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Before you guys ask, no, his comment section is not really much better. He gives very unclear replies, like this person was asking why there even was a metronome in the first place, and he's kind of like, use your eyes. That is the stupidest, most sarcastic reply I've ever seen, and it's like, it's so funny. That's so funny. So yeah, before I started recording the video, I did leave a comment. This comment was from last night, basically saying like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't think a half joke tower would get to your head this much and cause you to lose your temper this much. And then he actually did reply. I wasn't really expecting a reply, but he did reply. He was exaggerating. He still found it really, really, really annoying. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I can't blame you. And the exaggeration, yeah, it's fully justified. But please, I probably need a little bit more intel with the rest of the things I mentioned. Because, I don't know, if you're gonna like keep grinding towers with this kind of mindset, then it's not gonna look good for you. The reputation is probably gonna get a little bit lower and lower by the minute. I hate the tower and not the player. Like, okay, listen. I was holding this off until the end. He goes on, he beats the tower, he goes to the win room, he goes to the motivational quotes section. And he asks his friends what his quote should be. He goes on saying, "This was actually one of the worst towers I've ever played, and this game sucks. No wonder it has no players." Yeah, make that the quote. Now, one of my friends left a comment on his video as well, and he basically states, "I literally know nothing about this game, and this tower has wedges, so I thought it was serious." I know it was like a little bit of a funny comment, you know, but basically, yeah, he had no knowledge of the game, and he wasn't like aware that it was a joke place or a half joke tower, and I don't blame him for that. But if this is the avenue he takes, if this is like his thought process with like no knowledge whatsoever, then I'm sorry, dude, it's just completely unnecessary. Completely like hater comment-esque, kind of like a random comment on a YouTube video that everyone flames you for. Doesn't bring you anything other than satisfaction for yourself, but not for other people. Look, you're a good player. You managed to beat ToDL. That's impressive. You've also been in TOCR and other terrifyings and catastrophics. I'm not gonna go ahead and say you're bad at the game just because you made some sarcastic satire, a bit over the top comments. I'm only making this video because of the way you're treating the comment section, and just the way, like, just how aggressive you were with this entire thing, you know, from the description to like the chat. I assure you, Mr. Name, if you're watching this, I have much more better towers. Don't perceive me with that tower, okay? Don't be like connecting me with that tower fully. The tower sucks, and I'm fully aware. You can play other stuff like 2 Cup, or like Tower Painful Remembrance. I assure you, those are better. You can't just call the game bad just because you played that one tower. Alright? We'll be cool on that as long as you understand, okay? Alright? Alright. That's all I have to say. Take care.